Yeah. We're
Podcast. Two guys talking without wearing pants. Pantless.
right.
Podcast. You can take our ideas.
Welcome back to the Pantless Podcast. Here's your host, Austin Travis. Take it away, guys. What's going on?
Speaking of not wearing pants, I heard Mark say today it's a good thing that we don't have shorts. So think about that. He
Wow.
said shorts are a bad thing.
Are they a bad thing?
That's what he said.
I think they're the greatest thing that anybody's ever invented outside of kilts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's something we'll have to talk to him about. But anyway, what's up, man? This is gonna be a special episode.
yeah, we're going to do this right here.
Retro movie review.
Boom, we're in it already.
Yeah. For people that are possibly listening to this, might being confused. Yeah, it's been a rough weekend for me. For one, just Friday wasn't mentally prepared for it. Wasn't going to happen. And then I was without AC in my house all weekend. Yeah. We went out of town Saturday, got home at 8 o'clock at night, and walked in the door, and it was so miserably hot in the house from not having AC running from somewhere between at 8 o'clock. For 12 hours, my house sat in the sun, not with AC on. And it got fixed this afternoon.
But you are alive. That's all that matters.
Barely. God, it was miserable.
You're alive. So we'll see. Let's try this out.
We're going to review this movie. We watched The Mummy.
Yes. 1999,
Yeah.
The Mummy.
Yeah, don't try. I don't know what that other one is. Did you waste a review on the other one?
No,
Okay.
I did not. I clicked 1999, The Mummy, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that it was probably the only one. But I just know there's other mummies. What was that Boris Karloff mummy movie called? Wasn't it called The Mummy?
I don't know, but whenever I was looking it up on Metacritic, it was showing a 2017 The Mummy.
2017, The Mummy. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like, I don't know what that is, but that's not what we watched.
Yeah.
So, this movie, but the 99 Mummy with Brendan Fraser, great movie.
Yeah. Classic. I was actually pretty impressed with the graphics, the CGI for 99. They were actually pretty good. I was expecting it to be
really good.
I was expecting it to be a rough watch, but I was pleasantly surprised. They did a good job. It holds up.
And the girl, Rachel Weisz,
Wace?
I don't know. It's an SZ at the end of. She's in another movie that's really good. There's only two movies that I know her from. This one and Constantine.
Oh, she was in Constantine?
She's the twin sisters in Constantine.
I've got to
The
fall back.
Catholic
That's a great
sisters.
movie.
The one that jumps
The one,
herself.
one was possessed, right?
Yeah. And then the other side, the detective? She's a cop. Something
Yeah,
like that.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's her.
Wow. Yeah, I really like that
Yeah.
movie.
If anybody,
I feel like
we're not
we
reviewing
reviewed
it.
them.
I don't think we have reviewed that one yet.
We've discussed it.
We have. It has been discussed, but let's get back into The Mummy. I forget that this movie was actually set in 1932. Like, this is actually really close. This was like what would have been like what? Right around the. How did they not cross paths with Indiana Jones?
Yeah, I think Indy came on the scene 5 to 7 years later, I believe.
Was it?
I think he was late 30s, early 40s, something like that.
Okay. So I know the first Indiana Jones was before right before World War II started.
Yeah.
So this would have been about 10 years before the Germans. Like,
yeah, we know what happened. We know.
Oh, I'm sorry. This movie is a reimagining of Universal Pictures' seminal 1932 film set in 1925.
Oh,
So this
okay.
is actually quite a bit.
Interesting. That's interesting. So the original movie was set in 1932,
No, the original
or
movie was made in. I think the original movie was made in 32,
gotcha.
which is a seminal 32 film. So it makes me think that Universal made a movie in 32 about the Mummy. This is supposed to be
Yeah,
like a retelling of that. I don't know.
yeah,
Let's see
because
what the
that's what I was the that was the movie that I was talking about with Boris Karloff, was that movie. But I didn't realize these were actually these had. I'm gonna have to
noodle.
go and watch. I'm gonna have to go watching the Mummy from 32, and
We might have to bonus content that one this week if I have the time.
yeah, I'm gonna check out because usually those older movies they weren't that long, um, so I might be able to squeeze it into my schedule.
That's fair. Let's see
That
what
was one of those OG monster movies, like when they had Dracula, the Creature from the
yeah,
Black Lagoon, the Mummy, all those
the old
guys.
monster movies.
Yeah, that was
All
an
right,
OG. All right, moving on.
34 critics out of 100.
Ooh, all right. So I I don't think they digged it, but it was well done. I think that they were willing to give it a 63.
You would think, but that's not what they did.
What'd they do?
48.
Oh my gosh, it was well made. Like if the movie was crappy, like the CGI was bad and the acting was bad, I could see that because of the content, but I figured it would get a little bit of a jump for it being.
And it was comical. There were some funny parts.
Yeah.
Benny was hilarious this whole movie. 721 users out of 10.
So these guys, they got it. They understood it. They gave it a 7.8.
No,
What?
you went the wrong way.
Shut your mouth.
8.6.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, all right. Good.
Honestly, if I would have had to guess,
Yeah.
this would have been.
It was good. It was well done.
The critics hate it. The people
That's
love
a
it.
big gap, but whatever.
This is how reviews should work, in my opinion. No, but what I was saying was, this is how, in my opinion, all movies should be. The critics hate it, users love it, or vice versa. Vice versa. I
Yeah.
don't like it when they agree. That means I don't like either one of them. So,
Except for My Neighbor Totoro, where they agreed exactly 86 versus
oh yeah,
8.6.
yeah.
No, that's a good one.
But it was such a great movie. Okay, so critics had 11 positive, 15 was that 15 or 16 mixed, 7 negative. Users 644 positive, 58 mixed, 19 negative. We only had one perfect score out of the critics,
Okay.
the San Francisco Chronicle.
I'm surprised they got a perfect score. That's impressive.
Digs up both laughs and chills from time-worn material. I really need to watch the original to see if it really is that much similar to the storyline.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty complex story for a 32 film to be telling.
It is.
Nothing bad against 1932 movies. It's just they didn't seem to really do. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to read the Christian Science Monitor because I like reading theirs every week. They gave it a 50.
Okay. Right in the middle.
Long, bombastic, and violent, but fantasy fans may enjoy this fast-moving energy.
That's what she said.
Got him. All right, let's see if we can find some other good ones. We'll have to come down and get the bottom one. There he is. The Austin Chronicle. Gave it a 50.
Okay.
Makes no mis- Oh, make no mistake. This Mummy is an effects film all the way. So, your chronicle is basically saying there was nothing good in this movie but the effects.
Okay. Wow.
Like, they
That's
did one thing right, everything else sucked.
I disagree.
100%.
We've watched a lot of movies, and I I just disagree. Sorry, guys.
So,
You have a great name.
Time gave it a 20.
Ooh.
Hopelessly overwrote and deeply dopey movie.
Wow.
Film.com gave it a 20. Slouches in as a weightless, instantly forgettable picture. False. I have a 3-pack on DVD. Voice
and it's creative spin-offs.
I hate these reviews. I absolutely hate some of these reviews. The Voice gave it a 30. Crudely remaking the 32 Universal original. And that's all they said.
Meh.
I don't
Okay.
know. Some of these reviews it's like the Globe and Mail gave it a 50. Big, lavish, and dumb as camel spit is proof that sometimes it's better to let sleeping genres lie.
Um,
The critics did not like this movie in the
Inappropriate.
slightest. All right.
They don't know what they got. I've got some common sense, sir. How would you like to hear it?
Down and dirty.
Okay. I shouldn't have asked that. My bad. That's on me. All right. So I think we've had this guy before, but he's not super common. Adam Perry, maybe. It kind of sounds like it could be familiar. I don't know. Uh, he says an above average action adventure with lots of violence. Age 12 and up, 4 out of 5 stars. That's pretty solid. Pretty solid. Parents gave it a 4 out of 5 for 12 and older, and kids gave it a 4 out of 5 for 11 and older. So everybody's kind of hovering right there. 4 star. 11 to 12-year-olds. Let's jump right in here. Some positive messages. What do you think? What do you think, Adam? Not really knowing this guy, what would you guess? Positive messages.
But 3.
He said 2. A little.
Oh,
Said
close.
beyond the drinking, there's not much offensive behavior. Americans, mostly shown as cowboys, are portrayed as less clever, noble, or powerful than the rest. People of color are treated with respect. Okay, fair. How about a positive role model?
I think he keeps that same vibe and gives it a 2 again.
Yeah, you're right. He said Evie, especially, is a strong role model. She demonstrates her intelligence and courage, but some of the main characters betray others or leave each other behind.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. That's fine. All right, so here's an interesting one. Violence and scariness.
I have a feeling this guy gave it way too high of a score. I'd say he gave it a 4.
I think you're starting to learn Adam. Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
Beyond the intense gunfire, swordplay, and fist fighting, there are scenes such as a man's insides being eaten alive by a killer beetle that can be startling to both children and adults. Those beetles were pretty crazy. Like,
Yeah.
once you saw them digging into the skin, then you knew what was the mummy's name? I can't remember his name. But what
Emotep.
you know, Emotep. Yeah, he was just thrown in a sarcophagus with all of those beetles, and that was like his punishment.
The scarabs.
Yeah.
They were scarabs, sir. Don't miss.
What about my bad? Yeah, it's 2030. We're getting canceled. Yay, it took this long. Sex, romance, and nudity.
Speaking of, God, one.
He says two.
Wow.
This guy's pretty conservative. I think
I did not
he
give. I
says
would have almost given a not. Okay, let's see what he has to say.
he says kissing, slightly revealing outfits.
I forget her and her
Two,
slip. Yeah.
two characters have an affair, and the woman's bare bottom is visible. So I guess that's
What?
true. She was wearing a really revealing outfit. That very beginning scene, the Pharaoh's woman.
Oh yeah, she was. And then the main girl was wearing her nightgown slip during that boat scene.
Maybe. So a little. How about language?
Not present.
He says two.
Oh.
A little. I didn't hear it, but he heard SOBs and beatards.
Huh?
So that's what he heard. Moving right along. Drinking, drugs, smoking.
Well, three.
Three, yeah. Many characters drink shots of whiskey. A man stumbles drunk throughout the film, and another vocally lusts after the whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what 1932 whiskey tasted like.
Probably really good. Now.
Yeah. So, parents need to know. Parents need to know that The Mummy is an extremely violent, I wouldn't go that far, 1999 movie. Men are killed by gunfire, sword wounds, fatal acid, insect bites, and numerous magical plagues. There's virtually no blood or gore, and much of the violence is directed toward the undead, whose bones shatter when struck with swords or fists. In a series of scenes, many characters, including the lead, drink shots of bourbon whiskey. Two characters have an affair, and the woman's bare bottom is visible. A man stumbles drunk throughout the film, and another vocally lusts after the whiskey. Swearing includes the two B words. So, that's what Adam says. I'll give you a kid review because I think we kind of that's way too long. I changed my mind. I'm not going to do a kid review. Here we go. Here's a nice one from a 13-year-old named Salty Puffs. Age
Nice.
12 and older, 5 out of 5 stars. My thoughts, it's an above average action adventure with lots of violence. It's right there. That is word for word what Adam Perry said. So I think they just copied and pasted it. Here's one parent of an 11-year-old gave it a 2 out of 5. Said 14 and older should watch it. They said, this is K. Pete's. Dated with too many horror features. I really wanted to like this movie, but it is so derivative of the Indiana Jones movies that it is just not worth it. My 11-year-old son identified the parallels right away. He was fine with the Indiana Jones movies with occasional scares that were a bit too intense, but not with this though. Due to the high level of not only violence, but horror movie features, jump scares, insects crawling under a man's skin, on his face, hanging, even if not completed, to name a few. It may be because it's dated, but I also had to explain that Arab people aren't portrayed well, nor are women. The objectification, even if set in the 1920s, is excessive and simple-minded. I'd take a strong pass for any age. There's so much about violence. Even the next one says great and adventurous, but pretty violent. They gave it a 4 out of 5 for 11 and older.
I guess they just don't like action movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't see the violence.
There was a bunch of guns being shot off, but
we didn't see anybody die. There was the acid when they opened the salt acid,
and every time the mummy would, absorb the life essence of one of the Americans, it was always like off screen. You'd like see a shadow. You always like hear the scream. You never would see that.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting. Adam, you're an interesting character, but
there was no consumerism there, was there?
No, wasn't even an option.
Because you ended that before I even realized. I'm even more confused.
Oh, there was uh there was products and purchases on here,
You just
but
skipped over the top of it.
it's not present and not clickable. And what I did this time for the first time ever, I just kind of scrolled to the right, like when the pop up pops up
Yeah.
and cycle through. I just cycled through. Usually I back out and then click on it or whatever. But since it's not present, not
Oh,
clickable,
because you
it
use
just
the side arrows. I exit
yeah.
off every time and then click on the next one.
That's that's on me once again.
He had
Just
me
messing
confused.
up
I'm like,
this.
did he not even put that? It would have made sense if they just didn't even include. I would like that if it's literally not present. Just don't even put it as a box. Just eliminate it off and just have the ones that are present.
Right.
Because if it's not there, we're gonna be like, oh, cool, there is none.
Yeah. But maybe if you've never reviewed with them before, you wouldn't even know that was something. And maybe you really care about products and purchases, and you just do not want it represented in a movie. And your first ever time you're watching is The Mummy, and you're like, oh my gosh, is there consumerism in this movie? I have no idea because it's not listed. But now you know, oh, there isn't
That's
any
fair.
in there. So I'm going to let my 11-year-old watch it.
But I want my 11-year-old to be a consumer with the
Yeah.
not money they have.
Right? Yeah. They can consume your food.
Correct. Sir, do you know what we're
Fair.
watching next week?
Um, I know we had discussed the movie. Are we doing it?
Yeah.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
From 1971.
Oh yeah.
Heck
I'm
yeah.
so excited. This is gonna be a good one.
I
This is
know.
such a fantastic
So,
movie.
the reason I've picked this one is because there's a new movie coming out called Wonka.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did catch the preview. I
You
did
did
I
you,
did
you
watch
did
it.
watch some of the Chocolate Mafia?
Yeah, yeah.
When's it coming out? I don't know if it's even got a
It probably
December
got delayed
15th.
because of the writer strike.
December 15th of this year.
Hey. All right, so I guess it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, did you hear about that?
I
The
know there's been
actor
a
strike.
I know there's been a writer's strike that's been
But
going on.
now the actors are striking now as well. And
Oh, are
so
they?
lots of movies and TV shows are getting delayed. Like big time delays.
Well, I wonder if this one got done before all that. I wonder if this one was already in post after.
Yeah, it had to have, and now they're just editing and stuff.
So you're telling me that here in probably early 2024, early to mid 24, we're just gonna have like a dark time of movies where there's gonna be nothing coming out.
Probably so. Yeah.
We're getting the stragglers and stuff that's already been done.
Yep. Yeah. The big studios, you think they're gonna be smart about that and then just space out their movies. Say, okay, instead of these two coming out 3 months from each other, this one we'll delay it just a few more months, and they'll try to space out their movies so they don't literally have a just dead zone.
Hmm.
Or the theaters will just keep showing us the same movies. Maybe we'll get some discounts.
Yeah. Did you see that Mr. Bean is going to be in the new Wonka?
I did. I saw him
Yeah.
for a brief moment.
And Hugh Grant was the guy that's telling you it's going to be the main Oompa Loompa.
Oh, that was Hugh Grant. I didn't even
Yeah.
recognize him. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't watch the full trailer of the new one. I just kind of watched snippets of a couple trailers. The young kid that's playing Willy Wonka, I like him. I think I'm gonna like him in this role.
He seems like he's pretty good. Yeah.
Like he fits with that kind of persona and costume.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I agree.
I don't. So the old Willy Wonka is showing that it's free on Sling. Never used that before.
Okay.
So may have to unfurl the sails for this movie.
Gotcha. Do it.
So
All right. So that's our review.
I think
That
that's all we got for this episode, I'm gonna try to get this dropped tonight.
Yeah. We're not even live, are we?
No, I'm
Oh,
just I thought about going live on the tubes, but that I didn't feel like setting up. So
yeah. I blame you.
we are out.
Later, guys. Hope you like the short one.